Well, like he pitched, out of trouble all day, and they left, I think, 9 men on base, and but he made the pitches when he had to, and there was a couple of base runners at second or third with less than 2 outs, and he managed to pop them up or strike them out, and this guy he continues to. He's not amazing us anymore. He's, we kind of come to expect it. And, and Ben saved the game because that was a Willie Mays catch right there. And, that was big. He wasn't hitting much, but when you make a play like that, to save the game, and then Big Wilson, hit one to right center. We were hoping that it was out. It carried out of the ballpark, and that was really, all he needed, all Tanner needed. I'm glad he got the win, before he exited the game, because he was in trouble in the seventh, and then he got out of that, and then Kelly came in, who's very rested, and he threw lights out, and then Melanson, did it without much drama or anything, and he really. He was psyched, to come in that game, and it's hard to win a game 1-0 because a lot of things have to go, your way.
How big is it to win this season series, knowing it could matter?
Yeah, well, that's big. That's real big. We knew that coming to this game, especially the fact, like I told you guys yesterday, that we lost the season series to the Dodgers and to the Cubs, and so. We really needed this one big time because we could very well see San Francisco, again.
What about Tanner's approach in those situations? It lets him make those pitches when he needs to. Is there a way he attacks the
like he had got in trouble with a couple untimely walks and a couple of, breaking balls that didn't get into the zone. But like I said, he made those pitches, like he really bears down in that situation. And like I said, they helped us over there because they haven't really, other than yesterday, they've had a rough time with runners in scoring position, which is, like I kind of feel for them a little bit because because we've been in that same situation.
All in all, was this a high-quality, high-level baseball game?
Yes, it was. It was a very high-quality baseball game. We played errorless ball. They played errorless ball. We had two outstanding, well, except for the one error. And then it was late in the game, and then they had Madison Bumgarner. Anytime he's on the mound, it's going to be a low-scoring game for the most part. He's not throwing quite as hard. His velocity's down a little bit, but he hides the ball well and changes speeds and, off his fastball, pitches in, out, and he had a real good breaking ball when he needed it. So, and we hit some balls hard off of him. We hit some balls hard, even though he threw a two-hitter. We still hit some balls hard.
I know it's a small play, but there was a foul ball down the left field line where Espinosa and Rendon went before Roark came in, and all three of them came together.
Right.
Rendon caught it, and Espinosa's glove was right under Rendon.
Right.
Was that sort of typical of how good that defense is?
Well, our defense is, is very good, and especially, you've seen, especially Espinosa go out a long ways for flies, fly balls, pop-ups, and then you've seen Rendon make those over-the-shoulder catches, which is very, very difficult for an infielder, especially with the angle that he's had and with the fence and the fans and everything over there. So you got to credit him for a high concentration level, because that's what it's all about, and they want to catch the ball.
Can you just take us through what goes through your head throughout the stages of ball flying to deep center, Ben gets turned around, and just each step of the way, kind of what you're thinking?
Well, what goes through my mind is, number one, stay in the park, and we teach the outfielders to flip your head around quickly so that you stay on the same line of the ball, and that's what Ben did. If he hadn't flipped his head around, he could have been off, 2 or 3 feet, and then the ball's off the wall or a double, and they got 2 runs. And so the first thing, like I said, is stay in the park, and then we start rooting like, come on, Ben. You know what I mean?
You talked about how with Tanner, you're not amazed anymore. This is kind of just what you expect. Is it sort of the same thing with Ramos at this point, where this is kind of just?
Well, yeah. I mean, Big Ramos, hit a ball in the first inning. They made a great play on at third base, and his confidence level is high. It's real high, and he can reach the fences in any part of the ballpark. But he remains within himself and not try to hit home runs all the time. Like he is a hitter first, which is evident by his 330 plus batting average, with power. And, this is how, you would like guys to think, hitting first and then power second. I remember when I was in that same boat, I was a little confused, and I got a letter from Joe Black that he wrote me a letter, and he told me, just remember, Dusty, that you're a hitter and not a slugger. And that got my career, back on track. And so, which is evident by him hitting the ball up the middle, then he'll hit one to right field, line drive, and then next thing you know, he'll pop one, over the fence. And, I love it when he does, because he has one of the premier home run trots in baseball.
Tanner, both in 2014, when Tanner got to start, and this year, both years he's been about the top 12 in ERA. Is he somewhere close to that good, really, and how does he do it?
Well, I didn't know that he was in the top, whatever it was in the ERA. Yeah, and I know, this year, I look on the board up there, and, you like to have all your guys. If they're at 4, like Gio, you want them to be at 3, 9, and then for guys at 3, you want him to, like him and Serger, I keep track of it, and, of their ERAs, because that's how, they're judged, and that's how, you look at these guys, not only their won-loss record, but you look at their ERAs, you look at the other team's ERA, and if a guy's throwing a shutout, then, our guys invariably say, hey, man, he has a 5 ERA, so sooner or later he's going to give up 5. And so this is how we look at it, and I'm glad Tanner's ERA is coming, steadily downward.
Is there anything new on Harper, any testing or anything like that?
No testing. Like I said, I was hoping not to use him today. I just figured with yesterday's half game off, today's game off, and tomorrow's off, and then Monday's a night game, that gives him almost 3.5 days to, to work on himself and, get it right. And I'm sure he'll be fine by Tuesday.